Greetings everyone, and welcome to Keeping Up with Papa, Life After Work, where we find out how one man manages to keep himself busy, physically active, and mentally engaged after retirement with projects. Today's project, well, we're going to use my little Kubota BX2370 to move a dock. Check it out. With it. Welcome back. And yes, as I've stated, we are about to move this dock with the little Kubota BX2370. So, a little backstory for you. Now, as you probably have seen in some of my previous videos, we live on a lake. And what tends to happen here is the water will go down and the water will come back up. Well, because of that, as you can see in these pictures, some people's docks have a tendency to be way out of the water or right next to the water. We didn't like that idea. Instead, we wanted to have a dock that was floating, and that kept us at a certain level at all times. Well, the result is, maybe twice a year, the water has gone out and we have to push the dock out, or the water has come back in and we have to pull the dock back in. Today, it's time to push it out again. As you can see here, we're in dry dock, pun intended. Those floats are on the ground. Let's get started. Well, here's the process, and this is really actually pretty simple. Typically I do this with one other person, but several times I've done it by myself, and having the tractor with me makes it really pretty easy overall. The one challenge is when it's windy. You simply cannot do it by yourself when it's windy, so I typically pick an early morning in the summertime when it's nice and slick like it is right now. The dock is held in with 4 posts, and that's it. The way it was built, it's got this large bracket right here, and the original builders just used PVC electrical conduit, 3-inch, down inside that, driven into the ground. So that's what we have here, and that's what we have out here in the at the end of the dock. Over several summers, we had some issue with these posts, in fact all 4 posts, working their way out of the ground due to the dock moving up and down from boat activity. So I found online these little posts, you're going to see these in a minute, that go down into the ground, screw straight down into the ground, and they give a lot of stability on the front. Here are the shore side. I did not put them on the outside. I wanted to see how well it would do without having to buy 2 more. So far it's done extremely well. You'll also notice that these posts, and these are kind of my barometer, they're normally about 2 feet above the surface of the deck. And right now they're more like 3.5, and that means that the water has dropped. So it really is time from that perspective as well to move the dock out, because where that ladder is, the ladder's almost touching the bottom. Not good at all. So let's get started. These posts, as previously mentioned, these are just sitting on the ground. Come off, and magically we have a nice post underneath that holds everything in place. Posts out at the end are jetted in, so we need to screw these out of the ground, unscrew these out of the ground, and then unjet those so they'll come out, and then jet them back in when the dock's back in place. The jetting process is done with this incredibly sophisticated rig I built myself. Washer hose and some PVC pipe. Well, obviously you can't just grab this bolt and spin it out. So the company supplies this really simple little device. It's just a sleeve and 2 bolts and a handle. Slip that in place. Tighten these down. And then crank away. And I make it sound easy, but quite frankly, it's hard work to get this out. Cute. Okay. That's what's at the bottom. I'm going to go ahead and pull the second one. Then we'll get the big ones out next. There we go. All right, next step. So what I really need to do next is get the tractor ready, I think. This is very much stable where it is, and there's no wind to push it around at the moment. But there'll be boats out in a few minutes, and if I don't go ahead and get this part set up, when it's time to move it, I may have movement at the end of the dock, and I really don't want to have to deal with that when I pull those other 2 posts out. So I typically use a tree strap for this. I also have used a chain in the past, but I have them both with me. I think the strap's going to work. It tends to get a little better bite, I believe. When I'm pulling it in, I don't know if you can see it from here, but the 2 brackets that are there, they allow very easy access to grab a hold of something and pull. In this case, I'm pushing out. I have nothing for the strap to really grab. So friction helps hold it in place. Friction does. So I'm just going to crank it up real quick and just make sure it's working. I think I'll just leave it all set and ready like that, and go get the other post pulled, and then we'll push her out. Now, as much as I would like to say something like, I'm plenty strong to pull this post out of the ground without any water, that would be a lie. So what I typically do is I jet around the bottom edge, and I jet the inside, and slowly but surely we loosen it up, and then we can pull it out. This is a 10-foot long piece of PVC. As previously mentioned, it gets a little unwieldy to put in, but it works. You know what? I'm going to do it down at the bottom first. So here I'm just loosening that sand right around the edge of the post. That water jet drives it straight down into the dirt, pretty much as far as I want to go. So half a dozen times around that edge, and it helps break that suction. On the outside, and we'll do the same thing on the inside. All right, the ground level. we have movement. Okay, it's out. One down, one to go. One of these I'm going to pull all the way out. The other I'm going to have resting on the ground near the old hole when I push it out. It'll kind of stop it from swaying left and right. This one can come out. You can see pretty clearly we had what, 1, 2, about 3 feet in the ground. Okay, pole number 2, same process. Get the outside first. Can I pull it? There you go. All right, get this out of the way. It's amazing that PVC hasn't broken. So we'll say that I'm a little bit concerned that this strap will move it. It's just got nothing to hold on to. Usually it's not a problem, but in this case, I've got one of these that's completely out of the water, and the other float that's still sitting on the bottom, so it's got a lot of pressure it's got to deal with. If it doesn't work, I'll get a big board, place it across the front, use that so I don't damage my dock, and then push it out that way. Let's see what happens. No go. Got one more quick idea. Okay, gonna try something a little different here. I've run the strap under the dock where it'll be pushing on the dock at the same time. Let's see if that works or not. So the pole out there did just fine. It's been off, it's at an angle a little bit, but it's fine, just dragged on the bottom, no issue. And I can actually use that to kind of crab walk the dock back in whatever direction I want to move it. So I'm gonna go ahead and set that pole first. Then down here, I'm right at the water's edge. This is good because the water seems to be going out. Maybe I'll get lucky and have to move it again in 3 weeks because the water came back up. We'll see. Here we go. So you may have noticed that the dock, this pole was slanted this way. At one point it was slanted this way, but the dock has managed to move in this direction. And from looking at the hole down here, I'll take a picture in a minute. From looking at this hole down here and the track that I did, I'm about 1.5 feet to the left. So I'm going to use this to crab walk back. And I've got my spot. Go in. And that's pretty darn good right there. Just a little bit of a head start. This is almost a worthless attempt, but this will help a lot. Yeah, I cannot believe it doesn't break. It doesn't. All right, let me reset myself. That looks really good. So here you can, hopefully you can see the track and then the hole over there, the original hole. And I just kind of lined up with that when I put this post in. And this is where Mr. Block and Mr. Sledgehammer come into play. Let's go to the other side. Looking good. Now I'm going to bring it down to about knee level. For the moment, we're going to let this sit here and soften some more. We're going to do the front. Okay, let's drop these two poles back in. Now, this pole will go down just far enough to where the top of it is slightly underneath that electrical conduit pole, so we don't see the white cap. And I've got this much distance to go in. I'll be able to gauge that, hopefully, looking at it. Do my best at kind of getting it straight. Okay, here comes the hard work. Oh, that's getting hard. Times like this remind me I'm no longer 21 years old. Close, a little more. Do that. I like it. Okay, let's take her off. See if it worked. About that far. Perfect. Side shoot. Typically, early in the morning, late in the evening, we have observers out here, right? An observer. In this case, check out this film. Now that little guy is 5 to 6 feet long. Not really much of a threat. We took out, that is, the state took out just under 7 feet, 6 feet, 7 inches earlier this year. And we had one a little over 8 feet floating around at that time we were trying to have taken out. She seems to have disappeared. We haven't seen her lately. But the smaller one has taken her place. Not much of a threat, as I said. We just kind of keep an eye out for them. And this is a recent quote I saw. Says that, don't be surprised by this. If you're near water and it tastes like salt, there are sharks. If you're near water in Florida and it doesn't taste like salt, there are alligators. And it's true. All right, let's see if we've made any progress on softening this one up. Yeah, I expect so. All right, just above the knee. Round 2. I'm gonna go ahead and loosen up this edge. I should have done that on the first one. Sometimes they go down pretty easy. It's because there's not a lot of organic matter, root debris there. This one is one of those times. Wow, big difference. Very nice. So, are we done? Well, no, we're not. We still have to do something with that front end. Here's what I mean by doing something with the front. I put bricks down, blocks, kind of stabilize that front and keep it mostly out of the water. So those have to come out on each side, then they have to go in on this side, which means lifting the dock back up kind of level, setting these in place and dropping it down. Guess what? We're done. That's it. Bet you never thought you'd see a Kubota doing something like that. Well, thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it. And please be sure to like and share and subscribe. And I will see you next time on Keeping Up with Papa, Life After Work. You know what? It's time for a dip. I'm going to see if I can find an alligator. Just kidding.